Thank you guys for watching another episode of The Rundown. I'm your host, Lily, and I'm here virtually with Mr. James Worthy. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Awesome.
So we are going to get right into it. When I clicked on your page, I immediately went to YouTube, checked out the music, checked out the artistry. So you have your hands in a lot of things. You're an artist, you songwrite, you produce, you're an actor. How do you juggle all of those avenues?
Man, just to sum it up, it's all about balance. Just sometimes you got to prioritize and get certain things done at certain points. It's always steps. So that's kind of how I live my life within wearing all those hats. But it's just all creativity. I just love what I do. So however I can, express it, whether it's in different formats, I'm all for it.
So how did you get started with singing? Like, what age did you even start singing?
Well, actually, artistry, I've a lot of people don't even realize I've only been a solo artist for about 2.5 years. So I've always been a songwriter and a producer. That's how I started my career. So I've been in the business since probably age 16.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
So what made you get your first break? Like, did you have a manager or someone put you on? How did that come about?
No, I didn't have a manager. It was just more just making a lot of relationships. Like early on, like as a young kid, I've just always been a go-getter, so I've always studied the greats, studied people that was better than me, studied just soak up all the information that I possibly could, you know what I mean, from just kind of being around OGs and legendary artists and just kind of soaking up their wisdom and knowledge, and then just kind of implementing that to what I wanted to do in the business myself. And then just started like networking, politicking with people, making relationships, sending stuff out, just kind of doing the traditional steps, and then eventually you'll start climbing that ladder. So that's kind of how it happened.
Okay. Now, where are you originally from?
From Queens, New York.
Queens, New York. So how did you end up in Atlanta?
Well, I was moving around a little bit. So, I lived in a couple different places, and Atlanta was just like one of the hubs for music and television. So I was working on a lot of different projects with a couple artists that were always in Atlanta. So I just always found myself going back there. And had some family move out there. So I'm like, you know what, it might just be a good situation for me to move out there permanently. And I can always go back and forth to other places, but Atlanta's pretty nice.
This is your primary spot.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So last year, or was that 2019, you were a Grammy winner, 3-time Grammy winner?
Yeah.
So you worked with so many people in the industry. How did that feel to get a Grammy? Because that's a big award.
Amazing. I mean, it's amazing to get any type of accolade, especially when it's, held at its most high. So, I mean, it's a blessing for me. A great feeling. I'm one of those people to where, like, when I kind of X things off the list of, okay, I accomplished that. Like, I'm always like, okay, what's next? Like I never really like harp on the, the stuff in real time. Like I will, but I won't like harp for so long. Like, I'm like, okay, I gotta get to the next thing. Yeah. So that's kind of how it was. Like anytime, I got an accolade, or, I work with an artist that I always wanted to work with, then I'm like, okay, how can I get, to the next artist or the next thing that I'm trying to accomplish? So, but everything is amazing. I appreciate every bit of it.
Yeah. So what artist would you want to work with next, like coming up currently or in the future?
Let me see. Well, I'm a huge Weeknd fan. The Weeknd, Frank Ocean, Chris Brown, Kanye. Let me see. Erykah Badu, Sia. Man, it's a couple.
a long list.
Yeah. Miguel,
Mhm.
I'm a big Miguel fan. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a album coming up or any new singles that we can be looking out for?
Yeah. So actually, I'm in the process of working on my debut album right now, which is scheduled to release
Nice.
later this year. So super excited about that. My current single that's out right now is called Goldmine, which features Jay Holiday. So that's doing really, really well. And
Yes.
I'm featured on a new record called Night Drive, which is myself and Gipp from Goodie Mob. So that just released
Nice.
the other day. I think we're
Mhm.
getting ready to drop the music video this Friday coming up.
Okay.
So yeah, man, we
Have a lot
working.
of things in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you too about Goldmine, because I did listen to that. It's very sensual and sexy. Did you guys record that at the same time in the studio
Um, well,
together?
well, I had the song already, like probably about 3 years ago. It was just kind of
Mm,
sitting in, the the
in the
the
pocket.
the catalog and stuff.
Yeah.
And last year I was just kind of like, we're all in quarantine right now, so I just wanted to, release some stuff for the fans in the meantime. Just some feel good music. And I was just telling myself like, I feel like I needed somebody else on the record just to kind of, give it a different texture. And Jay Holiday was just one of the people in my mind, because we've known each other for a little minute,
Mhm.
and we just had never worked before. So I felt like that was a dope introduction for people to kind of see the male R&B camaraderie. So we just
Yes.
kind of made it happen.
Yeah. It fit perfect too. His voice kind of goes hand in hand with yours, and the visuals, it just all came out
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah. So it
So
was really
what
dope.
Yes. What advice do you have for any person that is coming up and they're wanting to kind of be in the same position with writing songs and producing and kind of being like a jack of all trades? What advice would you have?
Um, Man, you gotta be hungry for this. You gotta want it. Like, man, there's so many different people that want to do the same thing that you do. So it's like you gotta have that super hunger for it. You gotta
Your
damn
drive.
near eat, sleep, and everything else. You know what I mean? Just for it. And you got to learn the business, and you got to
Right.
learn like what it really takes to be a musician in this business. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, it's not just about making a song or making a beat or whatever, and then you just sending it to whoever. Like, there's a real process that goes into every facet of it. So
Hmm.
even I had to learn that throughout my
Right.
career. It's always steps, and you can't skip them. So um and plus too, you gotta study how you're gonna set yourself apart from everybody else too. Like, you don't never want to copy nobody. You never want to
Right.
emulate. Like, you want to stand on your own and have your own blueprint. So that's what I would tell people.
Okay. What would you say was your greatest obstacle thus far in this game, in this industry?
Greatest obstacle. Hmm. I would say in the beginning, like, it was difficult to place records with different artists because at the time I wasn't really making what was popular.
Hmm.
Or like, if I would submit songs or tracks to an A&R or an executive or even an artist, a lot of times they would tell me, well, it's not what's on radio right now, or it's not what's in right now.
I
And
see.
in my mind, I didn't want to make what was
It was on the
popular. Like, I
radio.
had my own style, I had my own sound. Like, I didn't want to compromise what I was already doing just to
Hmm.
say I work with such and such, and that's
Right.
cool. But as a young kid, I've always thought about legacy very early,
Yeah,
and I've
timeless
always thought
music.
about like, what are people gonna remember me for? What is my value? What impact did I make? It's
Right.
because that weighs much higher than you just chasing the placement just to chase it. you
Right.
know
Just throwing something out there.
yeah.
So, do you have a certain muse or certain things that you pull from when you're songwriting? Some artists, they pull from relationships or they pull from being in love. Do you have a certain thing that ticks for
mm,
you?
I would say all the above. I
Mhm.
mean, I just kind of live life, and when I live life, there's so many experiences and there's so many ups and downs, and especially in the music business, like things change constantly. So you're
Right.
gonna go through some crazy stuff. So I just kind of use all that for inspiration, and I'll just put it in song format, you know, whether it's a specific situation that happened or something similar that I've seen with other people that I know, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, it could be a number of things, but I just kind of use like what I see and what I go through as the motivation, you
Your
know.
thing. Mm-hmm. That's good. Where do you see your music, or where you want to be about 5 years from now?
mm, I mean, I definitely see me having a classic album for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely see I mean, hopefully COVID gets better and you know,
Hopefully so.
we can move around,
Go
you know,
back
how we
outside.
used to do. So, you know, if that happens, definitely a world tour. Definitely
Nice.
you know, just really continuing to grow the brand. You know what I mean? You know, James Worthy is just not only music. You know, I do a lot of other things, so it's just really growing the entire brand. You know, from
Mm-hmm.
television to film, of course, music, entrepreneurship. You know, growing my production company as well, which is Humble Sound Music Group, and you know, just continuing to inspire people and uplift people and help people as much as I can. You know.
How long has your production group been around Humble Sound? How long has that been?
I've had it for about 3 years now.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
that just you, or do you have a team of people that are working with you?
So I got a whole team. So basically, what we do is we sign musicians, songwriters, and engineers to the company. So basically, it's like a collaborative, you know, team to
Nice.
where like we work on different projects and everybody has a role. So if I can't always, you know, provide everything, I'll make sure that I'm giving those jobs to, you know, my staff of people. And we just get it done, you know.
Right. All right. Well, that sounds good. I do wish you the best in all of your endeavors and
Thank you.
hope to see a nice classic album coming up here soon. So far, I love the music and it
Thank you.
makes you feel great inside. And that's the best thing about hearing anyone's music. So
I
thank you
appreciate
for
that.
joining me
No
tonight.
problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Thank you guys for watching the rundown, and you guys have a good evening.
Peace.
Thank you.
No problem.